Hello everyone, we are live. I'm Clay Emo, I'm at Connect Clay on Twitter. I'm at Clayton Emo on Instagram. I'm the founder of the GLCBC, the Good Looking Canucks Positivity Club, and this is my Canucks take. All in one take, it's Clay's Canucks commentary. It's live on YouTube. It is Sunday night. It is May the 10th. It is Mother's Day, and I'll get to that in a second. For those of you that are mothers, I'm not sure if any of you, if you're a mother and you're watching this, because I know we have females on here. I'm not sure if we have any mothers on here. If you're a mother, put a little something in the chat box so we can all greet you a happy Mother's Day. Despite it being Mother's Day, I tried my best to get my lovely wife Gail onto the stream today, but she politely declined. But we will get that. That will happen soon. In fact, I'm gonna try and get all 4 of my family members on the live stream when it's my birthday. It's a month from now. My birthday is on Monday, June the 22nd. So I thought for Sunday night, June the 21st, it's Father's Day, so as a double whammy, I'm gonna ask all 3 of my kids and my lovely wife Gail to be on the live stream Sunday night, June the 21st. Book it, all 4 of them, as both a Father's Day gift and a birthday gift to me. But we'll talk about that later. For tonight, one of the kids will be coming down, and he or she will be coming down in the next 3 or 4 minutes or so. So it's Mother's Day, but before we get going, I wanna thank you for being here tonight. I always say this, but you could be doing anything else, watching TV, studying, Netflix, Disney Plus, working, whatever. But if you're here with me for the whole thing or even a few minutes, I appreciate you very much. I really do. And whether, I always say this, whether you're in my neighborhood of Steveston or in Richmond or in the city or in the Lower Mainland or in the province or in the country or on the continent or overseas, I do appreciate you very much. So thank you for being here with me tonight. Tonight, we'll talk about Canucks, we'll talk about NHL. Whoops, that was a wrong setting. We'll talk about, the Canucks. We'll talk about the NHL. We'll talk about Judd Brackett. We'll talk about Brendan Leipsic if you want to. And we have a lot of things to talk about. If you want, you can hit the thumbs up button. I never complain to that. And don't forget, I will get to all your questions once the chat with the kid is done. And as you guys know, every weekend show, usually on Sundays, I will bring, I'll bring one of my kids down for the first 10 to 15 minutes, just to give me a break, to give you some variety, get you to know our family a little bit. And then at the end of tonight, I have an announcement about who my next Zoom chat's gonna be, and another announcement about my next non-YouTube live stream. So some things we can talk about for sure. Well, first, happy Mother's Day, like I said, to all the mothers out there. And we had a really good day. My son Jacob and I went to church. We always live stream the Mass from our Catholic church 3 times a week, including Sundays. So we started our day off going to that, picked up some propane, then we had a wonderful lunch. My wife Gail did do a bit of the cooking, otherwise, it wouldn't be the best meal if it was just the kids and me making. But admittedly, some of the kids did a lot of the work. Why are you down here so early? You said 05. Oh, I must have started late. Okay, we'll bring you in now. Okay. So Jacob is here. Welcome, Jacob.
Thank you.
Move to the middle a bit more. Move closer. I can't move any closer. Anula, hello Anula. Are you giving yourself a round of applause because you're a mother? If you are, Anula, happy Mother's Day. That is awesome. Anula's here, watches from Sweden.
Happy Mother's Day, and it's probably not Mother's Day anymore.
Well, I know that, but I said if you're a mother, say that you're a mother so we can greet you. So Anula, are you a mother or are you just clapping hands for people who are mothers? Regardless, Anula, I'm happy that you are here. That's awesome. Okay. So just if you want to load up a few questions for Jacob, that's fine. And then I will bounce back and then answer all your questions to me. Move over tiny bit more. Look, you can.
I don't want to get close.
I'm your dad. It's fine. So load up some questions for Jacob. And in the meantime, very quickly, I'll just finish telling you guys what we did today. So I went to Mass with this guy. We live streamed. He's one of the technical gurus. Put your thing a tiny bit higher. Oh. There, that's good. He's one of the technical gurus, so we run the cameras, we run the sound, and we bring our Mass to all of our parishioners online. Came home. Did you help cook any of that meal?
Yes.
What did you do?
The corn.
You made the corn.
Yes, I made the corn and the ham.
Yeah, so we had corn, we had ham, we had Greek chicken that was barbecued, we had lumpia, a very favorite Filipino delicacy. We had marinated cucumbers, we had rice, we had pork that was barbecued. We had a feast, didn't we?
We did.
And we ate pretty late. We ate at 1:30 or 2.
Yeah,
so then,
still full.
Yeah, we're still full. So we didn't even have dinner. We just kind of left the food out, and we just put it away half an hour ago. If it was still out there, actually, I was going to take the camera and show you all the food we ate, but instead we put it away. And yeah, we didn't even eat dinner because we had such a massive lunch. But we had a great day honoring Mom, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
You spent some good time with Mom?
Great time spent with Mom.
Yeah.
Great time.
Yeah, we always have a good time.
I drove her today, and she didn't die. That was my gift to her.
That's true. You drove twice today. Once to the church, and then you and Mom went to drop some off at your food off.
So I drove church to Grandma's house and back.
What did she say about your driving?
She said it's good, but I'm too fast. When I turn, I already accelerate too fast. I just said I'm getting you faster to the place you need to be.
And I've taught you to accelerate out of the corners, right?
Yeah,
and it's not like pedal to metal.
Yeah,
it is accelerate because you don't want to drift in the corner and drift the whole thing. You brake going in the corner, and then you accelerate coming out of the corner.
The question is, who do I want to drive, like you or Mom?
Well, you should answer that question right now. Be honest. Who's a better driver?
You're a driver, but
But
Mom is safer.
Who's a better driver? The
I answered that.
Well,
You.
say it again. The question: who is a better driver?
The question is,
I'll
who
ask
do
the
I
next
want
one.
to drive?
No, I'll ask the next. Who is the better driver?
You.
Who is the safer driver?
Mom.
Who do you want to drive like?
Sean.
Asian man or Asian woman? No, I'm just asking you. You're an Asian
Why
man.
does Asian have to be in it?
Well, because we are Asian.
Why
Okay.
can't it just be man or woman?
Let's get
That's
to-
an easy answer.
I hope you want to. All right. Alfred says, "Hey Jake, how you doing?"
I'm doing well, Alfred. Things are good. You?
I actually didn't show you Alfred's video. I found it. Alfred bowls at Revs.
Do you?
Yeah, I saw a video of him
Alfred sounds
on his
familiar.
Instagram, but I showed it to Sean. I forgot to show it to you, so I'll show it to you later.
Okay.
Alfred, in the video I saw, you did a not the best first ball, but it was a wicked spare shot. So good job.
Nice.
Yes, very good. Dexter says she's waving, she's not clapping. Oh, okay. Whoops. Well, either way, hand gestures are fine.
Yep.
And Dexter gave me a facepalm already. Nux, have you listened to Nav's new album, Jake?
I have not yet. I heard it's all right.
Who's Nav?
I don't know. Made that up. You're asking the wrong person.
Alfred, just curious, which one of you there three is Mummy's favorite?
Hey, you're looking at him right now.
Why would Mum pick you as your favorite?
Well, for one thing,
Perfect.
I clean my room, and that's all it takes to become the favorite. Well, I don't know. My mom and I bond a lot. I make jokes with her. Yeah, I help around the house. That's all I need to do.
In the spirit of honesty and charity, if we were to build a case for Sean, not to the detriment of you, but if we were to build a case for Sean, why would Mum prefer Sean as a favorite if you had to pick something?
I can't pick something.
Okay, how about Kayla?
Because she's a girl.
Okay.
Because she's the daughter. That's a good reason. Maybe, Sean, because he's firstborn. That's all.
Nothing about his
Nope.
attributes or personality?
Nope. That's all I needed.
Edmund, hey Jake, how do you feel about your dad posting videos of you when you were younger?
I think it's funny. I like...
And admit it, you're the one who found them.
Yeah.
And then you sent them to me.
I like reminiscing about the old times. They're funny. And the funny thing is, like, I didn't even realize I was making those videos, nor I didn't know what I was saying. You could tell by the English. So,
Your English is a bit better now.
just tiny bit.
Yeah.
But it's good. I don't mind it. I actually like seeing it up there.
Yeah. And for those of you who are wondering, if you follow me on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, or not just follow me, we're friends, I've been posting a couple videos of Jake. We found some videos in the vault of Jake as a 6-year-old, and where he's questioning his loyalty to the Canucks and why he has to be a Canucks fan just because he's in this family. Correct? That's basically the gist of it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Emotional.
Who?
Me.
Yeah. Lefty all around. Jacob, did your father try to push you into playing ice hockey, or was it your decision to play or not when you were younger?
There was no ever pressure to play ice hockey, mainly because Sean and I can't skate very well. Other than that, no, he never pressured us to do anything. It was fun to play like street hockey and stuff though. I'd play as goalie, have my 2 little goal pads, my blocker, and my glove, and then no face, because no need. And then they'd shoot it from about, 60 feet away?
Yeah, we would shoot him from the other end of the neighborhood
We had
complex.
nice
Loop-
pop fly.
Yeah.
And then,
And then we would just see Jake try and make a save.
yeah, it was fun stuff.
If you, after this, if you want to look up Emo Boys Hockumentary, I've talked about that many times, but look up the Emo Boys Hockumentary. It's one of our first videos and probably one of our best. We should reenact those.
No, those are hard.
Then you can beat up Sean now.
Yeah, easy.
Michael says, what grade are you in?
I am in grade 11.
Alfred says, love the Jollibee t-shirt.
Thank you.
And someone else later says, what's Jollibee?
Jollibee is a fast food chain in the Philippines, mainly in the Philippines. It's spread over here, and there might be one opening here. My favorite meal on it is Chicken Joy. It's like KFC in a way, but it gives you rice. You can get spaghetti there. You could get
Yeah, that's
good stuff.
Yeah. You like the chicken.
Yeah, it's like the McDonald's of the Philippines.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Edmund, Jacob, do you have your L or your N?
I have my L. I can get my N in October, start of October, and then I'll get to drive for real.
In what car?
Yours.
Dexter says, did you get your L on your 16th birthday?
I was trying to, but the system actually shut down when myself and my aunt got there. So we had to go home. But I got it the next day. So
Why did the system bust again that day? Do you remember what happened?
overworked, maybe.
Yeah. They were scared that you were coming there. Alfred says, didn't think choosing between mom and dad would go to that level. Yeah. I presume, Alfred, you meant because of me, not because of mom.
No comment.
Yeah, no comment.
Mother's Day.
Alfred says, I'm good, thanks, Jay. At Clay, I always try about the bowling. No, that's good, Alfred. That's awesome.
That's good.
What is Jollibee? We talked about. Left Dealer on Clay. Who would be your top 3 picks to play? Who would be your top 3 picks to play on your team from all Vancouver Canucks in history? Well, if it's only 3 players, I'd go the Sedins and Bure. I think they'd be amazing. Our 3 best forwards in the history of our team. I would love to see them on.
Should ask me that one.
Okay, fine. Who are your top 3?
Luongo, you need a goalie when you play.
Yep. No, it's only 3. He's not asking for 6, but it's fine. Luongo.
Luongo, you can have Alex Burrows, and then Kevin Bieksa.
Okay, that would be the all funny team, but there won't be the most skilled team.
Yeah, Bieksa can hit you. He was huge.
No, he wasn't.
Oh, who was huge?
Well, he was okay.
Sammy Salo.
Yes, but yeah, Sammy Salo always got injured, especially in the nether regions.
Next question.
Who is Clay's favorite son? I love them both equally, Michael. I love different things about both of them. That's good.
Good answer.
Nuck says, OMG, is school really opening at the end of this month? I don't think so.
There's been
Talk.
but I don't think, because we're only stepping into stage 2 of the getting better process. Schools won't be open probably till September, my best guess.
Yeah, and it depends on where you live, depends on what type of arrangements are needed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so yeah, it's tricky. I think it's tough to say blanket that anyone's going to be opening or not opening, but I think the majority of schools will wait till September for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Alfred says Jollibee is a Filipino fast food chain famous for their yummy chicken joy. There you go. You and Alfred should go hang out there. Then you can.
We'll go bowl.
Yeah, eat Jolly. Alfred, when all this ends, we'll go Jollibee. Where? Seattle?
Yeah.
We'll go to Jollibee and then we'll go bowling. How's that sound, Alfred?
I'll drive you.
You might have your end by then.
Yeah.
Gina, wait, there's a Jollibee opening here, is there?
Yeah, there's been talk about it for Vancouver opening.
Do we know that for sure?
But I don't know after all of this business.
Okay. Rob says, cool, thanks about what Jollibee is. Edmund, are you going to driving school or just your folks teaching you? Great question.
Mainly this guy teaching me, and then mom once in a while. Probably go into some lessons in the near future. In the summer, definitely doing a lot of work, especially parking.
Yeah, with Sean, I taught him, and then we did do a couple of lessons with the driving school, a friend of ours from church, to kind of brush things up, and he did fine. He passed on a second attempt. His first attempt wasn't his fault, though, because...
a car.
Yeah, it was another jerk driver's fault. But Sean persevered and got his license basically right away. So he's a good driver.
He's all right.
You think you'll be a better driver?
I know I'm better.
Why?
Because Sean's a bit bumpy.
Alexander, Clay, with the news of Judd Brackett, do you think... No, I'll answer that later, Alex, after Jacob's gone, which will be in a few minutes. I'm not kicking out, I'm just saying. I'll save the hockey questions for later. Dexter, I'm going to be such a good driver.
How old's Dexter again?
About your age, 15 or 16, 14 or 15. 15, I think.
I believe in you, Dexter.
Lefty, I disagree, Clay. Pedersen, Hughes, and Bure. Yeah, that would be good too, Lefty. Michael, fair enough. Elfrin, let's do it. And Dexter, was it scary driving for the first time? Great question.
Talking to you?
No, me. I mean you. I'm 45 years old. I'm a man. That's a meme. That's, okay.
I know what that means.
Okay.
It was scary, for sure. Getting on the road, you never know what's gonna happen. Definitely testing out what it's gonna be like was weird, but it gets easier and easier. So
Yeah, you're actually a confident driver in all seriousness.
Yeah.
Gina, by the way, I just saw Gina. Remind me how old you are. I know you're in high school, but tell me how old you are, what grade you're in. Edmund, definitely practice parallel parking and parking backwards for sure.
Yes, I researched some videos on those exact things a few days ago.
Yeah, so Edmund, you and Jacob are thinking alike. I have, like many cars, I have a reverse camera on my car, so obviously they cover that up, or you have to turn off the screen. You know that, right, for your test. You can't just use the reverse camera.
That sucks.
Yeah. Ryan says, hey, Jacob, how are you?
I am good, Ryan. That's,
Yeah.
yep. I'm assuming you're good too. That's
Awesome.
good.
And then Gina says AP exams are next week for her. How's school for you? She's in grade 11, just like you. She just turned 17, so she's 4 months.
She's probably learning a lot more.
Gina, what school yet? And happy belated birthday if you just turned
happy
17.
belated.
Edmund, usually at the end of the test, they make you park backwards.
Ooh, fun.
Yeah, I
Good.
think maybe fine.
The big
Gina,
finale.
started driving, but I can't get my end because of the lockdown. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Jacob, top 3 musical artists.
Music artist? You go with Bruno Mars. I know he's deceased, but Juice WRLD was one of my favorite.
You like Juice WRLD?
Yeah. Sorry, too young for you.
Too gangster stupid for me.
I like that.
Is he,
and-
he's probably one of those guys that got tattoos all over his face?
No, just piercings.
Oh, whatever.
And then I don't really like the group, but my favorite song comes from Social House called Magic in the Hamptons. You should listen to it. It's really good.
Magic in the house.
Next question.
Okay, a couple more. Sometimes in the middle, they'll ask you to parallel park, so we do have to practice that.
Fun.
Jacob, Ryan says, Jacob, parking backwards is the way to go. It's made me a more confident driver.
That's good.
And it's easier for you to get out then, like to zoom out. A lot of Asian, not, Ryan, I know you're not Asian, but a lot of Asians actually park backwards. I do notice that. So it's true. So you have to wait in the parking lot while they back in, but then they leave faster.
Yeah.
It's both. Gina, I go to Burnaby North, 15-minute drive from, yeah,
Ooh.
actually I know, I used to know teachers there. Some of my good friends went there. I don't know. Is Mr. Kwan still teaching at Burnaby North? Mr. Kwan, Sherman Kwan. Dexter, Juice WRLD isn't a gangster. Oh, yeah, I said that. See, I have no clue. He just sounds like it. Michael, hi from Penticton, both of you. Hello, Michael.
Hello.
We haven't been to Penticton. I haven't taken these guys to Penticton. Kelowna quite a few times, but
I
not
don't know
Penticton.
what that is.
It's close to Kelowna,
Oh.
like an hour out.
It's like Burnaby.
Dexter, he's chill. Is Juice WRLD chill?
He's-
Well, he's more chill than gangster. And then Dexter says he was chill. He's dead now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you said. Okay. Edmund also Edmund I think wants to be your driving instructor. He says also one key thing I would suggest, definitely do a lot of shoulder checking for your test.
Yes.
Let's see some of your good shoulder checking. Like right now. No. Okay.
I crack my back every time I
Yes, I know.
shoulder check. though.
Edmund says, I admit I park backwards and he's Asian. See that?
That's right,
that
Edmund. Keep that up.
perpetuates my theory in a good way. Dexter, I'm going to flip out at seniors when they drive. Dexter, they might be saying I'm going to flip out at 16-year-old Dexter. So you got to be patient on the road, right? Do you agree?
Oh, me?
Yeah, you got to
Yeah.
be patient. And Gina, I don't think he is. I've never heard of him before. Oh, Mr. Kwan. Okay, Jacob, any last words? That was good. That was a quick 15 minutes. Wow.
I hope you're all doing well during this time. Remember to keep spending time with the family and keep your faith for Canucks open and alive. Don't turn into Boston fans.
Excellent advice. Wow, that's quite solid. Almost like you knew what you're talking about.
Yeah.
If you like Jacob's appearance, give this video a thumbs up, and we'll see how far it goes up from here. Thanks, buddy.
Sounds good.
Shake. No, shake.
No, I don't want to
You don't have to. We're father and son. Shake. Hug now because.
No,
Hug,
that's not
hug,
part of it.
hug. Okay.
Okay, bye.
Thanks. Take the chair with you. Thanks a lot.
Have fun.
Thanks for coming down.
We'll talk about Canucks.
All right. So, you're gonna hang out in the back now? Okay. Gina said that was actually pretty solid advice. Much inspired.
Me too.
I think Gina and you got the grade 11 connection happening.
Yes, yes.
All right, thanks, buddy. You guys still like it when I bring the kids down? I know they like it, but they you know, if we don't like it, then they won't do it. But I think I like it. I like showing off my kids, and I think it's a nice break from talking to me for 45 minutes. But that's what you're gonna get for the next 30 to 40 minutes. So I'm gonna scroll back up and answer all your questions. So really quickly, I think this is the last time I talked to you, which was Wednesday night. I think Wednesday night was the Scott Rintoul day, right? No, Wednesday, I released Rob the Hockey Guy. Thursday morning, I released my chat with Scott Rintoul. So hope you saw my chat with Scott Rintoul, Sportsnet 650. It was really, really good. I really like him. Really, really friendly guy. Then over the weekend, I did a bit of vlogging about the Judd Brackett situation, which I still can't figure out how it got to this point. Did some, obviously a lot of the Brendan Leipzig that happened really quickly, his horrible remarks. Yeah, I remember talking about it in live stream. And then we found out that the next day or the day afterwards, by the Friday, I think, the Washington Capitals had basically terminated his contract, which made sense. People arguing on Twitter about Judd Brackett. People arguing on Twitter about Brendan Leipzig. Not so much about Leipzig, but is the NHL doing enough? You know, a lot of people saying, well, you can't expect the players to speak out. And other people are saying, no, you should expect the players to speak out. But maybe they're being told not to speak out. So that's tricky. So a lot of things we can talk about. So let's see what happens. I'm going to get into all your questions now. Here we go. HSM Fangirl Gaming. Hey, Clay, thank you for having me on your Instagram Live. It was fun. You're most welcome, HSM Fangirl. Not doing Instagram tomorrow, but I'm going to try something else, and I'll talk about that at the end of today. Alfred, hi, Clay. How are you and your family? We are doing great. Thank you. I hope you are doing well as well, Alfred, but we are healthy, we are safe, and we had a great family day together today. Thank you. And happy Mother's Day to all the moms, grandmas, aunties, and sisters from all over the world. I agree. HSM Fangirl Gaming, I had a beta fish named Butterscotch, but she died 10 days ago. I'm sorry to hear that. But I bought a new one that they named Lila. That's a nice name, and I'm happy. Hopefully that fish is doing well. Justin, I might fall asleep. It's midnight in Houston. Love y'all. Justin, I don't know if you're still here because now it's 10:20, so it's midnight or 12:20 there. Thank you. I know you're 2 hours ahead, and I appreciate you commenting on all my videos as well, Justin. Thank you, brother. And if you're still on here, I was just in, where the heck was I? I was just in Texas last summer to do some youth work. Was I in Grapevine? Yeah, I was in Grapevine. I was in Grapevine, Texas, just last summer. So if I ever get down, I've been to Fort Worth, I've been to San Antonio, I've been to Houston. The only place, big city I haven't been to yet, it really is Dallas proper. So hopefully if I can get down there soon and I can meet you, that'll be cool. Or if you're up here, Justin. Rob, how's the weather there, Justin? In my condo, it's 29 degrees, 86 Fahrenheit in Victoria. Yeah, it was a warm day here in BC. It was beautiful. Ryan, hey Clay, hope you're doing well, brother. Glad to see your wife enjoyed Mother's Day. She did, thank you. How could she not enjoy Mother's Day when she's married to me and she has the 3 kids that we have? No, thank you, Ryan. We had a good day and I hope you had a good day as well. Edmund, hey Clay, I want to apologize if you're offended about the comment I made in your video of Brendan Leipzig. I will admit I wondered what I wrote wrong. Only issue I had was with someone accusing me of being like Leipzig. So I do apologize to you and happy Mother's Day to your mom and your wife, Clay. Well, Edmund, thank you for the greeting. And no, I wasn't offended at all. You can write whatever you want. And even what you wrote wasn't offensive at all. I think someone misinterpreted you of saying something and then you went back and said, no, don't accuse me of that. So I think it was just a simple thing of words gone wrong. I saw the point you're making. I think the other person didn't, and it was fine. Like that stuff doesn't sweat me. If it got bad enough, I would have deleted the comments, but it was fine. So Edmund, thank you, but no need to apologize at all. Dexter, what about Mickey? I'm not sure what you're asking about Mickey, but because that was like 20 minutes ago. What about Mickey? Maybe did I not include him? Yeah, Mickey was with us too. How's that? Mickey turns 2 actually next Monday, which I'm very excited about on Monday the 18th. Michael, hi from Penticton. Hello, Michael. Anula waving or clapping, whatever it is. That's awesome, Anula. Thank you for joining us from Sweden. I think you watched these at the start of your work day is what you remember. I remember you telling me. Okay, then we got a bunch of questions for Jacob, which is cool, that I know I missed Alex's, so I want to get to his. Clay, with the news of Judd Brackett, yeah, do you think the Canucks should hire a different GM and just have Jim Benning focus on scouting and drafting players? That's an excellent question. I think it's very hard now that Benning is 5 or 6 years in, whatever it is. It would be very hard for him to go to a scouting position. Although very important, and he is very good at it, or at least that's one of his strengths. I would not, I don't think he would do that, quite simply. So I think it would be tough to, because then you're basically hiring for 2 new positions, right? Or you're 2 new people in 2 new positions. Benning as a scout, even though he's been with, and then you're hiring a brand new GM. I think it's much easier just to hire a new scout. Or it sounds like the maybe Benning and Weisbrod want more power or more say. It's crazy, right? Judd Brackett's done. You know, I'm not the guy who's going to stand up there and proclaim from the rooftops that we must keep Judd Brackett and their Benning and Weisbrod are idiots, because Brackett is good. There is a team though that works with Judd Brackett. And yeah, Pedersen and Hughes, those are good picks. Hoglander and Podkolzin, those are good picks. Not all of his picks have been great, but of course, no drafting guy is going to go 100%. So I like Judd Brackett. I think he's been good for our team. I don't freak out though if things don't work out. I just wish it wasn't so public because it makes the management team look a little dysfunctional. But maybe it's true. So many reputable reporters are talking about it, so there's obviously some truth there. I just want our team to continue to improve. So if they elevate someone from within, or if they find someone else, then that's fine. That's fine. But it is puzzling to me why they wouldn't give Judd Brackett the autonomy if the stories are true, that he did not want a pay raise for the next 2 years. All he wanted to have was more autonomy. And a good manager, you have to trust the people that you're managing. You have to trust the people that you have in your organization. So that part does concern me. But if Jim Benning has already made up his mind, I also don't blame him. I might not agree with him, but you do want people that you can work with. Not necessarily people, yes, man. I talked about this last Wednesday. You just don't want people that say yes, 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 whatever you say. You want to have healthy conflict, healthy, positive tension, but maybe the tension they have is not very healthy. So maybe that's the issue right now. Good question though, Alex. But to answer your question, no, I would not do that. I would keep Benning as the GM and then bring in a new scouting guy if that's the way they're going. I don't think it makes sense for him to go to GM and then to scout and then hiring a new GM. Okay, and now let's get to all of your questions. I think we've caught up all the way to the Jacob part. Now, bye, Jacob. Great seeing you. That was solid advice. So Alfred says he's funny. Yes, I agree. All three of my kids are funny in their different way. They all wonderful personalities. I'm so proud of all of them. But Jacob, I think, has the most natural. He's very comfortable in front of the camera. And he's very quick on his feet and and with his mouth, and very charming that way. Sean is very intelligent. Sean is very smart, and he's very quick on his feet as well. But he's probably not as naturally as funny as Jacob. Although Sean will say some zingers that I probably can't repeat here. But Sean is hilarious. And then Kayla is very sweet. She's quite sarcastic too, but she's definitely the sweetest of the three, because she's the youngest and she hasn't been jaded yet by the teenage years. All right, so good. Nuck says yes, keep bringing the kids on. Edmund says yes, I think it's great. Rob, yes, it's nice. And remember, these are just once a week now, not both times, but only on the weekend ones. Edmund, oh, Clay, you're a power lifter. Yeah, thanks, Edmund. That was a funny exchange I had with Scott Rintoul. We were basically talking about how we're the same age, we're the same height. We both like to be active, but he's a much better fit, in better shape than I am. And he's probably 30 pounds lighter than I am. So I said that to Scott Rintoul, and he basically said, yeah, Clay, you're the power lifter. And I thought that was pretty funny. So if he wants to call me a power lifter, that's fine with me. Michael, I don't like the Bruins. Well, welcome to the club. Alfred, neither do I. Alfred, I'm doing well. Thank you, Clay. Awesome. Nuck says, have you been to Dubai? No, I haven't. The only places on that side of the world I've been to the Philippines and Japan. And then still on that side of the world, but not close to Dubai. I've been to Rome. I've been to London, England. Haven't done a lot of Europe, though, aside from Rome and Gail and England. Gail and I were supposed to go to Rome this summer for our 20th wedding anniversary, but obviously that will have to change. But yeah, I'd love to get to more places on that side of the world. Vikram 93, hey from Sweden, awesome. Another welcome, Vikram. I think Vikarn, sorry. I had the R and the A mixed up. Vikarn, I presume it is, it must be what? About 7:30 there in the morning. Maybe my time is completely off. So I'm glad that you are here. That's awesome. Thank you for being here. That's wonderful. Okay, so that's good. What else we got? Vikarn, that's good. Dexter, I went go-karting a few years ago with my dad. A woman tail spun me off the track and I hit a rock that sent me flying. My dad saw what happened and he went after her and hit her off the track. Oh gosh, you never want to see road rage at a go-kart track. So I hope that you guys work things out. But yeah, that's not cool. If the woman intentionally took you off the track, that's not cool. If it was an accident and your dad did that, I appreciate your dad's loyalty, but that's not cool. But if the woman did it to you on purpose, which it sounds like she did, then I can see why your dad stood up for you. But I hope no one got injured. And I just see you said we were both fine, so that's good. Well, you and your dad, I hope your mom was fine too. I mean, not your mom. I hope the woman was fine. I think that's what you're saying is you and the woman were fine. Ryan, Clay, what are your favorite 30 for 30 docs, top 5? Yeah, Ryan, great question. I don't watch all of them. I do remember, I did remember seeing the one about the Catholics versus the convicts, the college football. I thought that was good. I watched a couple of the wrestling ones, the 30 for 30s. You know, I haven't watched a lot. I do like the ones where they talk about you know, turmoil inside of the front office of a team. I know there's been a couple of those, but yeah, I can't really name any off the top. Like, there are none that I saved or none that I said, wow, you know, I got to watch that again. I have to save that. But I do remember the Catholics versus Convicts for one, and a couple of the ones on the wrestlers. I think were good. Alfred. Benning has worked his way to where he is now. He's done a great job with the Canucks. Would like to have Brackett as assistant GM to Benning. So two things there, Alfred. Yeah, not everyone would agree with you. I like Jim Benning. I've met him, and I think he's done a pretty good job. You know, his drafting has been good. Judd Brackett's been a big part of it. His recent hockey moves have been really good, right? JT Miller, Tyler Toffoli, Josh Levo, Michael Furlan, although he got injured. Some of his trades up into the past couple of years, not so good though. So overall, I think he's been okay, and some would argue about his contract negotiation skills. We'd love to have Brackett as an assistant GM, but there's no way that will happen while Weisbrod is here. But good point. Michael says, are the Canucks still rebuilders? No, I don't think they're rebuilders right now. I think Pettersson and Hughes single-handedly sped up the rebuild. The whole joke I had with Thomas Drance last week, though, is I still think the Canucks are 4 or 5 years away from being bona fide year after year contenders, i.e. Final Four. Thomas Drance says that needs to happen in the next 2 or 3 years. So I hear what he's saying, but I'm saying like Final Four consistently. I still think we're 4 or 5 years away. Even if we say 4 years, Thomas Drance says 3 years, then we're splitting hairs, right? But yeah, I get that you want to be competitive while Pettersson, Hughes, Besser, Horvat are all young. But I still think we're a couple years away, at least, to be quite frank. Dexter, Benning has done an almost terrible job with the Canucks. Handicapped the Canucks with contracts to Eriksson, Myers, Sutter, Beagle, Berchi, Roussel. He's made a few good trades, such as Goodbranson for Pearson, JT Miller trade, and Berchi trade. Yeah, so Dexter, you've named a lot there. Some good, some bad. And it depends, I guess, what side you want to look at. But yeah, he's certainly not spotless, for sure. Edmund, by the way, did you catch the results of Money in the Bank today? I was shocked and surprised who won. Yeah, Edmund, I didn't watch the stream, but I caught up on the results. It sounded like a really fun show. I think, you know, WWE has done a really good job with their pay-per-views of making these very creative matches where they can add music and special effects and cuts and retakes, blah, 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 storylines. So, you know, Buried Alive, John Cena and Bray Wyatt, and now the Money in the Bank, which were all pre-taped, which is cool because they can do a lot of cool cinematic things. I think they're struggling trying to figure out what to do on their weekly live shows. But yes, I did see the results. It sounds like a great card overall. Glenn, Otis win Money in the Bank ladder match. Yeah, so it's funny. Glenn, and then said intentionally doesn't spoil it. And then the very next post, Glenn says Otis wins. But thank you. I did know that, so you did not spoil it. But thank you for trying, Edmund, and thank you, Glenn, for the information. That was funny. Alex, would this be ideal if it did happen? Linden as GM, Benning as assistant GM, so he can focus on drafting. Would you prefer this happened? Would I prefer this happen? I'm not convinced that Linden would be a good GM. I think they brought him in to be a ticket seller, face of the franchise. Maybe he could have learned, but I'm not sure if Linden, in his heart, at the root of who he is, would have been a good GM. So no, I don't prefer that would have happened. Michael, how long have you known Lego Rocks for? Only through the internet. And we've, ever since we became aware of each other, maybe a couple years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, we've been trading messages, you know, on a weekly basis, checking in on each other. As you saw that I had him on my vlog a couple weeks ago. So I've never actually met him in person, but we've known of each other for the past 2 or 3 years. And Dexter says we were both fine, good, about the go-karting. Edmund, by the way, have you caught up with Last Dance? Yes, Edmund, thank you. Well, I've seen episodes 5 and 6. I know they released 7 and 8 today in the States, and we get them tomorrow. But yes, I am caught up to 5 and 6. I am absolutely loving it. Dexter, it wasn't on purpose, but she made a stupid move to try and slide in behind me. Okay, that's fair. Dexter, I'm so happy to see my dad take care of. Yeah, your dad's taking care of you, which is good. Ben, 79. I hope the NHL does 1 or 2 amnesty buyouts. We can buy out Eriksson and Sutter's contracts without the cap hit, which would allow us to keep Toffoli and Marsh. Yeah, I know Gio did a video about this today. And if that happens, yeah, of course, that would be awesome. And Eriksson and Sutter would be the likely candidate. So, of course, we would all love that if we were able to shed that $10 million between the two of them, freeing up $10 million. And yes, then we can keep Toffoli and Markstrom, which we likely wouldn't be able to without some help. Ed versus Jim Benning in a fight. Who takes the cake? Who's Ed? Like no neck Ed, or who's Ed? Dexter, tell me who Ed is, and then I'll answer it. Ed versus Jim Benning in a fight. Not sure who Ed is. Maybe I'm completely missing something. So Dexter, fire up who Ed is. Oh no, yeah, okay, no neck Ed. So no neck Ed from whatever that 90 Day Fiance. I've talked about him a couple times. You got to go with him. I think Jim Benning has got some size, right? A former hockey player. Actually, now that I think about it, I think Benning has too much size. He could basically look over no neck Ed, and as long as he could, duke and get a stick and jab and get away from no neck Ed, I actually think Benning would win. But no neck Ed has definitely got some size on him for sure, at least girth. That would be a good fight, actually. I don't want to think about it anymore, though. That's funny. Benning is like all GMs. He's not perfect, but he's improved our prospect pool big time since Gillis. Yeah, I agree. And then Edmund, I guess that's the point. That's why people think Judd Brackett had a lot to do with it. So why are they fighting? Clay, watch Winning Time New York Knicks. New York Knicks versus Reggie Miller for 30-30. Yeah, I remember Reggie Miller going off on the New York Knicks in real life, but I haven't watched the 30-30. I will look that up. Thank you, Ryan, for that suggestion. Edmund, I think Sutter's pretty underrated when he's healthy. Yeah, he's up and down for me. Like he provides good leadership. He's good defensively generally, but he's been injured too much. I guess that's your point. You said when he's healthy, but I think the game you could argue is maybe has passed him by. If like I would rather have Beagle over Sutter. I like Beagle actually a bit more than Sutter. Beagle's a tiny bit cheaper than Sutter, and then you're not displacing Adam Gaudette from a third line, right? But we'll see. Alex, if the Canucks wanted a Swede to play with the Sedins, why didn't they pick Nylander in the 2014 draft? He could have played with the Sedins. We could have had him instead of Louis. Yeah, good question. Alex, I know you like to go back in time and ask, well, what about this? What about this? And those are thoughtful questions, but I don't want to spend too much time talking about what would have happened back in the day because there's nothing. Yeah, they could have picked a lot of guys, and Nylander may or may not have worked out. It's so tough to say. Dexter, what Canucks alumni could make a good Canucks GM? Yeah, you want someone who understands the business, who can negotiate, right? Who's not going to get ran over at the negotiation table. Oh, what Canucks alumni would make a good Canucks GM? You think of the Canucks alumni that are involved still. You think of guys like Kirk McLean, like Dave Babbage. Would any of those guys be a good GM? Who seems... Someone like BX, I think, would be a good GM. Like, he's smart, he's well-respected. He's just sharp, but we're a few years away from that. That's a really good question. I'd have to give that some more thought. What Canucks alumni could make a good GM? Maybe there is a guy like I know Lume is involved a lot with the organization still. Yeah, that's a good question. I'll have to think about that actually. What do you guys think? Dexter, you asked that. Give me and everyone else, give me some responses. What Canucks alumni might make a good general manager? Ben, if he was healthy, Sutter would be good, but he gets hurt way too often. Yeah, that's the tough part about him. Rome, Linden and Benning are not the best of friends. They can never work together. Rome, I agree. And by the way, thanks for all your good comments as always, Rome, on the videos. But yes, I agree about that. Oh, by the way, today's video, I didn't do a true Canucks vlog. I actually did a video for my work. I interviewed a priest from Archdiocese who got basically promoted to pastor. Think of leading his own church. But he happens to be the biggest Canucks fan of all the priests. So if you saw my video from today, we actually did an interview where we did hockey analogies for everything, talking about everything he has to do to lead a church, to lead a mass. We actually made it hockey analogies. So it's kind of funny actually. He talked about taking it one day at a time. We talked about having to have steady hands, be agile, strong on your feet, talk about good vision, good focus. So, if you're, and I know a few of you out there are Catholic and you saw it and you commented or sent me a message, so thank you. We had a lot of fun. It's supposed to be harmless fun. I think we did a good job of it. But thank you. Dexter, no neckhead, yep. Edmund, if Ferland can't play next year and has to retire his cap hit, doesn't count to the cap, right? Yes, that's correct. Any Canucks players, any players that are retired due to injury or simply retired, you get relieved of that cap hit. You can't be paying a cap for someone that's retired unless you're the Canucks and Roberto Luongo and the cap recapture penalty. But that wasn't because he retired. It was like the issue why we're paying his cap is because the league just didn't like the way that we worked out that brilliant contract, which is really, really too bad. Ryan, Elway to Marino was solid too. Okay, I'll check that out as well. Thank you. I appreciate that, Ryan. Edmund, my favorite part of Last Dance, seeing Jordan talk about all the punishment against Pistons and finally beating them. I think you can tell Scottie Pippen still hates Isaiah Thomas. Yeah, Isaiah Thomas is a dirty player. I remember I thought he was a good player, but he's certainly a dirty player for sure. And that hate kind of sees out. It's seething. You can see it's still there, present in that documentary. Dexter, if the Canucks get a compliance buyout, this is the order I'd buy them out. Myers, Eriksson, and Sutter. Yeah, I know a lot of people don't like Myers, but Eriksson isn't even playing, and Sutter is redundant. Myers, you could argue, right now he's going to be our only right-handed right shot deal on under contract if they let Tanev go and then if they let Stetcher walk, right? So that's tough. That's tough. But yeah, you're not alone, Dexter, not liking Myers. I don't mind him. I thought he was okay. Edmund, Naslin as GM. Oh yeah, he's been involved a bit, but you know, that might be a good one. Oh, I hear Mickey. I'm going to go get Mickey. Hold on. Mickey? Oh, that was you. Never mind. Okay, that wasn't Mickey. Dexter, could you update me on the Judd Brackett situation? There's a lot of points and it's hard to keep up with. Okay, Dexter, I'll do my best. Basically, Judd Brackett has been with the team for a long time, even before Jim Benning got here. He was here when Mike Gillis was here. He's the head of amateur scouting, so he's prospects, right, drafting. Whereas John Weisbrod and others do pro scouting. Jim Benning, where actual players that are in the NHL. So when you're scouting for who you want to trade for or who you want to sign as free agents. So Judd Brackett is in charge of amateur scouting. So he's the biggest voice when it comes to drafting at our draft. The story is that him and Jim Benning were starting to drift a little bit. And then at the June 2019 draft, the one in Vancouver, on day 2, basically Jim Benning and John Weisbrod took control of the draft table, basically minimizing Judd Brackett's contributions. Of course, they'd been working together up until that day, so they had their own draft order. But maybe that Benning and Weisbrod may have made decisions instead of Brackett. So already the rift was growing a little bit, and that kind of made it grow a bit more. There's discussions of whether or not, you know, everyone was sold on the Elias Pettersson pick. It's easy for us to say now that was the right pick, but at the time, there's a thought that the Canucks really wanted Cody Glass that went to Vegas, right, instead of Elias Pettersson. So then the Quinn Hughes, I don't think there's any debate there. But basically, the Canucks, Jim Benning offered Judd Brackett a contract earlier this year in February or March, and he rejected it. Now, they can go back and forth as a regular negotiation, just like they would with a player, because his contract ends July 1st, just like a free agent, NHL player. But he rejected that contract back in February, and numerous people have reported that it wasn't about the money, and it wasn't about the term. He offered actually to stay for 2 or 3 years with no raise, which is pretty remarkable if it's true. All Judd Brackett wanted was more autonomy. He wanted more control over his department, the department that he is the director of. And it sounded like Jim Benning and John Weisbrod, but Jim Benning is loath to give that autonomy to him. So if you're Brackett, you're saying, well, what the heck? I'm doing a pretty good job. Everyone loves the job I'm doing. And this is supposed to be my department. Give me more power. Give me more autonomy. And Benning's saying, no, I want to retain some of that power and maybe give some of it to John Weisbrod. And a lot of people don't like Weisbrod because they've tracked kind of his bad track record. So that's really where we're at right now. And it sounds like, for all intents and purposes, that that Brackett will not be re-signed and may be let go or just simply not be with the team after July 1st. So there we go. That is the short version of it. Jamie Sports Talk. Hey, Clay, how's it going with you, buddy? I'm great, Jamie. Nice to see you. Edmund, I was shocked how rough the NBA was back in the day. A lot of pushing and shoving. Oh, yeah, it was pretty bad. And then they brought in all these hand-checking rules in, a long time ago now. But before that, yeah, it was really, really rough. A lot of sports were a lot rougher. Jamie, hey, Clay, I just heard that the NHL thinking about a 2014 playoffs. Yeah, Jamie, that's right. That's getting more and more talk, especially if they push the return date later and they don't think they can fit in a bunch of regular season games. Then instead of making a bunch of teams come back for just a month or so, right? Imagine you're Detroit or you're Ottawa or LA or Anaheim. You don't want to come back and play like meaningless games, like get in shape again. So they might go straight, if they go straight to the playoffs, they go 24 teams, then play down to 16 and so on and so forth. So that is something that they are looking at for sure. Alfred, could there be a possibility of chatting with Don Taylor for your next video? That could be interesting to watch, wondering what he's up to these days. Yeah, Alfred, great suggestion. I talked to Don Taylor. I've talked about Don Taylor, how I've met him before. His daughter has come to some of our church events. So yeah, I think he'd be good, and he'd be very entertaining because he's still knowledgeable about sports today, yet he can have a lot of really good memories from the past. Dexter, I know who he is, just don't know what the story is. Okay, yeah, there you go, Dexter. Hopefully that helped. Edmund Benning, I guess, was responsible for drafting Niels Hoglander then. That's tough to say, Edmund, because he still could have very well been on their draft board anyways, and they even talked about how they even had him pegged as a late first rounder. So they were thrilled when Hoglander fell to them at 40. So we'll see. We'll see. It's tough to say. I'd say maybe that was a bracket pick as well, but maybe it was later picks that they disagreed with. It's so hard to say. We don't know for sure. Jamie, are they still going to finish the rest of the NHL season? Tough to say, man. Your guess is as good as mine. But the longer they go, I think the less likely it is. Alex Burrows, assistant coach for the Canucks. Canucks just have to convince him after he's done coaching the NHL. Alex, I think that's a great suggestion. I heard Burrows is a student of the game, good communicator, smart. He knows this stuff, and he seems to be a type of guy who will be around hockey for a while. So I think that's a great suggestion, Alex. Dexter, what's the story? Where did the story about Weisbrod and Benning taking over the second round of the 2019 NHL draft? Who was the source? I read it this week. I can't remember, but I know the guys that have been writing about this a lot. Patrick Johnson of The Province, JD Burke of The Athletic and TSN 1040, Sat Shaw of Sportsnet 650, and Matt Securis of TSN 1040. Those are four guys that have been following the story quite a lot. Ryan, hey Clay, my dad doesn't have an oven. He got creative. He was baking cookies. He used his barbecue on a baking stone. Not kidding. It's not that creative. Sorry, baking stone, not kidding. Is that not creative? Do bake cookies. Okay, I think you're saying that is creative. Yes, and I hope the cookies turned out well. That's cool. H. Sohal, would you be happy with Benning stepping down and taking the main scouting role and the Canucks hiring a new GM? H. Sohal, it's interesting. I answered that question earlier. You might not have seen it. Alex asked the same thing. Would I be happy? I don't know if happy is the right word. I just don't think it's going to happen. I don't think he would do that. I think if this whole thing is about power and autonomy, I simply don't see Benning doing that. But if you can hire a whippersnapper GM that's really good and good at negotiations, I'd be open to it for sure. I just don't see it happening. Dexter, Tanev, Rafferty, and Stetcher take up the three right D positions next for, and you could always call up Chatfield. Okay, so you're talking about if we get rid of Myers, that you can have Tanev, Rafferty, and Stetcher. Yeah, if Tanev and Stetcher do come back, yeah, that could be a good top three as well, but I simply don't see Tanev and Stetcher both coming back. Ryan, have to sign Marco first, then do what he can. Judd, yeah, I think Markstrom is the priority for sure. Edmund, I assume you don't watch UFC 249, right? It was a good card seeing no crowd. My son Sean did, I didn't, but yeah, it was, I heard it was good actually. And yeah, the no crowd made it interesting. You could hear all the strikes, you could hear the coaches yelling. It was very interesting. Edmund, if you can interview Don Taylor, you can bring up the argument that he had with Pratt about Doyle Brunson poker incident. Yeah, that got a lot of play, especially recently as the TSN 1040 did their top 40 moments. And yeah, that was classic. I listened to that live. I remember hearing that live when it happened. It was so crazy. Trent, hi. Hello, Trent. Edmund, once we can have large crowds, I can see Dr. Barney Henry dropping the puck for the first Canucks game. Yeah, she is very popular because she's steady, she's smart, she's compassionate. Yeah, a lot of people like Dr. Bonnie Henry. I think she's great as well. Ryan, people have to understand it's not just Judd Brackett, it's a team effort drafting. Yeah, that's a good point, Ryan. But obviously Judd, the buck stopped with him before it got to Jim Benning when the buck stopped with him. Jamie, hey Clay, if the NHL does the 2014 playoffs, is our Canucks one of the 24 teams that will be playing? Yeah, actually, Jamie, even if they went 16 teams, the Canucks would be one of the top 16 because of points percentage. In fact, they finished third in the Pacific, not even wild card. They finished third in the Pacific ahead of Calgary. So technically, they are the 14th or 15th team. So yes, they would make it if they're one of the top 24 because they definitely make it as one of the top 16. Clay, who would you hire as GM for the Canucks? Oh, that's a good question. There are a lot of good names out there, but I don't want to speculate given that we have one right now. Who would I hire as GM for the Canucks? Yeah, I won't say bring Mike Gillis back. there's a few guys that are out there, but David Poile got let go by Nashville, right? Did David Poile? I'm gonna look that up real quick. I thought David Poile left or got canned. David Poile, Nashville. I've always liked him. Oh no, he's still the president of hockey operations. What am I thinking about? Maybe I thought he was gonna leave. Yeah, I don't know. I have to think about that. And actually I skipped one. I think someone said, I skipped it because someone said what about you, Clay, as the Canucks GM? You could be the Rob. I want to get that because that's good for my ego. Thank you. There's a lot. I think I'm very averse to conflict, so I think I'm very diplomatic. I think I would be a good negotiator, but I think there's a lot that I have to learn. But I think I have the social media part and the communication part down right. But thank you for that compliment. I appreciate it. Actually, if I had a job in the team, I want something on the creative side. I think creative game presentation. I'm not sure how much those guys get paid, but I love something, communications as opposed to GM and negotiating contracts. But that'd be kind of cool. Thank you, though. Dexter, how did Sean watch it? Did he pay for pay-per-view? No, I think he just watched highlights or found a stream. I don't know what he did, actually. I think he just watched highlights. I know he didn't watch the whole thing, but he just was telling me how different it was. Jim Betting for Canucks nutritionist. Clay should be the new GM. Thank you, Rob. I appreciate that. Jamie, how about Trevor Linden or Marcus Naslund for GM? Jamie, definitely won't be Trevor Linden after he left, right? After he basically got canned. Marcus Naslund, you're the second person who's mentioned that, so maybe Naslund would be good. He was definitely, got a lot of love when he was here for the Sedin's retirement for sure. Alex, Clay, would you want to be the goal announcer for the team? I think that would be fun. I think Al Murdoch is doing an outstanding job, and you can't compete with his pipes. But if I was, I'd love to be the organ player for the Canucks, actually. I don't even have to hear my voice all the time. You just hear my fingers or what I'm playing. I would love to be part of the game presentation team as the organist, but I know Mike Kenny. He's a great guy, very, very talented, and he's doing an outstanding job. Now we got No Neck Ed for Canucks conditioning coach. Stetcher for GM. Oh, yeah, well, he's got to finish playing first because he's still part of the Canucks organization. All right, that's good. Let's end it there, you guys. It is Leipzig for Canucks head coach. Okay, Dexter, now you're being funny. It is coming up at 11 o'clock, so a couple quick announcements. My next Zoom chat will be with Satyar Shah with Sat of Sportsnet 650. We talked about that over the weekend, so we're just going to set up a time to chat this week. So I'm looking forward to chatting with Sat. I like him a lot. I loved him ever since he was with the Team 1040, TSN 1040. I've hung out with him a few times. Really, really solid guy. And he's very popular too because he's smart, yet he doesn't come across as a jerk. He's very friendly. So going to interview Sat this week, so I'm excited about that. I'm actually doing an interview tomorrow with a filmmaker about the Stanley Cup riots, actually. I'm going to talk about my experience with being there in Game 7 inside of Rogers Arena. So I'm looking forward to that. And then tomorrow night, for any of you on Facebook, last week I tried my Instagram Live on Monday night. And it was great. It was a chance. I didn't want it to be me just chatting. I wanted to bring people in and chat with them on Instagram. So I'm going to try that tomorrow night on Facebook and see how that goes. Something different. So we'll see if any of you are on Facebook and you're friends with me there. I'm going to do that at 7:30 tomorrow night. Last week it became very Canucks heavy, which was fine. But I want to try and make it not so much Canucks centric, but we'll see what happens tomorrow night. So a couple things for you to chew on. But the biggest one, I guess, would be interviewing Sat for my next chat on Zoom. Last thing, curious who is your least favorite wrestler? Shawn Michaels never did anything for me, maybe because of the Bret Hart. And you could pick any wrestler that were bad guys, but I think Shawn Michaels, for the way he caused a lot of havoc, behind the scenes, he was never my favorite. Let's go, nice Sat. Yeah, looking forward to the chat with Sat. Awesome. Good night, Clay. Hey, Clay, I have another GM. How about Pavel Bure? Yeah, I don't know, Jamie Bure, if he'd be interested in that, quite frankly. Nona, it's been great seeing you. Stay healthy. Thanks for the great stream. Awesome. So thank you, everyone. Before you go, if you want to subscribe to this channel, but I think you already are, if you want to hit the like button, I would not object. And thank you. You could be doing anything else tonight, but you're hanging out with me on a Sunday night on Mother's Day. So I appreciate you sticking with me. And I appreciate all your comments, all your loyalty on this channel. So once again, I will check with you on Wednesday night with my next live stream. Thank you. Thanks to Jacob for coming down. And if you're on Facebook tomorrow night, 7:30, I'll be hanging out live there. And really, that's it. We'll see what happens this week in interviewing Sat for my Zoom chat series. So in the meantime, stay safe. Stay healthy. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Take care of everyone. Have a good night. Have a good day tomorrow. God bless and go Canucks go. Take care.